I'm all worked up.
Why are you worked up?
I don't know.
It's been a crazy day.
It's been a crazy, like,
4
5 days.
3 weeks.
When
it
do we
seems
start?
like.
When do we start?
Thursday.
So, for you people watching, I've decided to embrace the gray. And this has been a 4-day process. 4-day process to
Just
get
4
to
days?
here. I know it seems like forever.
Seems way more than 4 days.
4 days and 500 hours.
And it's not exactly where we want it to be.
It's close.
But
We're getting there. Yes.
But this is all courtesy of my best BFF over there. And I think it looks great.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of The Unlikely Podcasters. I am Sunshine.
I'm Susanna.
I'm Tara.
Let's see. What feedback did I get this week? Well, I wouldn't say feedback, but what we've heard about the episode that just released, which was, should you travel or should you save money or do both or whatever? But there was a discussion on credit cards. Miss
We're going to call it
Tara,
a discussion.
a discussion. And we have received, or I personally have received both sides. However, if I had to lump this into a percentage, I suppose people are more inclined
Tara's over there
to agree.
gloating.
Yes, to agree with Tara.
It feels good to be right.
But I still don't think that you're right. I just think it's what these people are agreeing.
Oh,
According to Merriam-Webster,
Miriam, your friend Miriam, yes. What'd that
Yes.
bitch say?
she says paid off means you have paid your debt in full. She, they, them. I don't know what she identifies as, but that is what it says.
Well,
And you can argue with her all you want, but
I'm not
I
gonna.
think
I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
I'm just.
are you accepting the consensus?
Well, there was one other debate we had regarding you. When she said we paid off all our credit cards, you said good job. What did you think she meant by that?
That you had no more debt.
Best day ever.
But once
She said, "Oh no,
explained-
Susanna knows exactly what I was talking
She
about."
does. She
I
did
do.
know what I meant.
I do.
But
She
when you
does.
said it, that was the first place
That's
that her mind.
that's where your mind goes.
Yes.
But
But,
if
you
you
knew
say-
what I meant.
But I use my credit cards like an Amex card, right? Because
Yes.
basically that's what
The old way of
the
Amex.
old way of Amex. Yes, you had to pay it off at the end of the month. Also, to give a minor concession over there is if you were to lose your job tomorrow, you might have to carry that debt, right?
That's
so
true.
in that instance, you're not paid off.
That's true.
So there it is.
I get to play this over and over and over.
For those listening, Tara is gloating.
I will link that
8,000.
episode right here,
Yeah.
as they say on YouTube, but then they don't ever link it. So it'll be a surprise if I do or not.
Yes.
And so for the listeners, she is gloating. She's extremely happy that she feels people agree
Right.
with her.
The word is right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that shit. No.
You hear that, people who agreed with me? She said, fuck your shit.
No, I didn't. I said, fuck that shit. Number one. Number two,
Number 2.
I still stand by that we are paid off.
And in the very end of all that, the words came out of her mouth. I agree we're not paid off.
What else
I
do you do?
completely agree that it's not paid off.
She said those words, yet she still continues to argue.
Because
You're
in
paid
my,
off for like 24 hours or 40 till
Yes.
you hit another thing.
Yes.
We haven't even gotten to that point. So,
yes.
Okay, let's move on because we're just going to go down another. Yeah.
Did she tell you about Brad and
Angelina?
no, Maria? Is it Maria?
Brad and Maria.
Brad and
my
Maria.
friends.
See, my hair is courtesy of also not just Sunshine, but Brad and Maria.
That's
I don't know
Sally.
what you guys are
Where's
talking
Sally, right? Getting all this stuff for my hair. Sunshine's like, "Listen, Maria told me." I'm like, what?
Who's Maria?
Maria's my YouTube friend.
Yeah.
But she
She's
spoke
like,
to me.
She told you
Yes.
personally that this
She
is what we
spoke
needed
to
to
you.
buy?
That is a perfect segue into our
is.
topic.
It is.
Because you now thinking that people who are on YouTube or on TV are speaking directly to you.
Because that's exactly right. So yes, it
Yeah.
is a perfect segue.
Yes.
Because many people,
What is the topic? What are we calling the topic?
The cult of celebrity.
yes,
Celebrities, they're just like us?
No,
Celebrities.
the
they're
cult of
people too.
celebrities.
Oh, okay.
Did you not hear what she just said?
I did, but I know she just made that up right there. It's like I'm making it up right now.
No, it's in, well,
Yeah.
you probably haven't seen it, but I was creating like the outline, it's like a format so that we can, and I called it Cult of Celebrity.
Oh.
Yes, yes. What does that mean exactly to you?
To me, it's, like all the fans, and then it's, I think it can, not quite like a cult, because that's a whole different thing.
True,
Yeah.
true.
But, it's just like when you say, what was that other expression? The cult of,
Personality?
cult of personality, cult of celebrity. It's just, it's such a thing, especially now that you have 24/7 access via social media to a celebrity, even though it's not like current, but you
Right.
could have 24-hour access to a celebrity.
Even
Mhm.
if it's not them providing it,
Right.
And a lot of
Various
the times
other
it's
people
not. Yeah.
are providing it for you.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's channels dedicated just to,
Partic-
if you want to consume, to that degree, you
Mhm.
can.
Mhm.
And it creates this, what do they call parasocial relationships, I guess is the technical term, that you develop with celebrities. It can get very, I think the water can get very murky for a lot of people
Mhm.
because of that consumption that is now. Because before, what? You got it out of your weekly magazines
right.
or on your weekly, what was it? What was that?
The Inquirer, and there's
Mhm.
us and people.
Yeah, that
and-
weekly news
BuzzFeed,
with
too.
the Superman guy.
Entertainment.
Yeah, all those little half-hour
yeah.
blips that would
Mhm.
talk
Yeah.
about, celebrities. And that's how you got your information, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like 24/7,
Yeah.
which now it can be. And then they develop all these followers and they're very loyal
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere.
until they're not.
Yeah.
But some of them, even in spite of things that a celebrity might do,
Yeah.
Still
they
remain loyal.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I always tell Tara, first of all, I understand that celebrities are celebrities and shut up. Celebrities are famous, I should say. Celebrities
Okay.
are celebrities. Celebrities are
understand
famous.
Dogs are dogs.
That's right. People are people. Celebrities are famous, and some of them, part of the appeal, I guess, of being a celebrity is being famous. Or I'm sorry, part of acting or being a musician or
Yes.
being on social media or whatever is that they get to be famous. And that people would be interested in them. And some of them really would like to turn that off and just say, you know what, that's my job. This is my personal life. Some of them are very gracious and they welcome all of that. And so I have told Tara previously, if I like them for whatever reason, whatever character that they've played or music that they played,
Mhm.
and then it really bursts my bubble when I find out that they're a jerk or an asshole or
Yeah.
a dick or whatever. But I am also I am not of the mindset where like I am so involved in these people's lives,
Their personal
their
lives.
personal
yeah.
lives, and I don't talk about them as if I talk about Susanna and Tara.
Like you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
me
I-
and Ryan, we're just,
So yeah, I joke about it that Brad and Maria were my friends, but it literally is. It's just me joking, and
yeah.
I don't get so involved. People get really, really involved. They're crying, they're upset, they know the ins and outs of their marriages and their
Yeah.
children and follow them around the country. And so I like Alanis Morissette, so I followed her. But again, it's just her music. I'm not,
Well, you do follow her on social media.
I do, but
So
I'm, in all
I
honesty,
do not. So does she speak about her personal life, or
she
is
does
she
sometimes.
Okay.
And so, but my main intent is to learn about her music stuff.
Right.
She does other things that I'm not really interested in. That I'm just interested in her
Right.
music,
Okay.
and so that's why I would follow them in that manner.
yeah.
A moment ago, when I said follow, meaning like I wouldn't follow her across the country.
Like you don't like stand outside her house.
Yes.
and wait for her to come
You're not a
out.
stalker.
Exactly. No, I don't stalk her. And some people that do stalking, they insist. What was that? What's that chick that was on? She was a sister in a TV show, and some dude showed up at her house.
My
and,
sister Sam.
There you go.
Mm.
Yeah.
And but that dude, he swears because he loved her so much.
Yes.
And I don't understand. How can you care
I
about
think there was a more
someone?
recent incident, but I
Oh,
can't
there's-
remember her name. But of a similar.
Oh, where people, yeah.
Oh, well, there was the girl that was on American Idol.
Yes, her. That's
Oh,
what I'm
yes.
referring.
He shot the poor girl right as she's sitting at a table,
Yeah.
waiting, greeting her fans.
Yeah.
And she was not what I would consider to be
Super famous.
super famous. You know, I mean, if you watched Idol, I'm assuming I had no idea who she was. Obviously, she was playing in this small
At a
venue,
little venue, yeah.
but someone was that obsessed with her that they felt the need to do that. I don't know. I think they're just, if you are that into someone that you don't know, I think there's something just a little bit off.
I'm that into you.
Huh?
I'm that into you.
But you know me. We live in the same house.
If you leave me,
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Look at this bitch.
Look at those crazy
look,
eyes. Look at
she,
him.
Look, she followed us here. She left and then she came back. That's how much she loves us.
Who do you follow?
Who do I follow? I don't know. I think I.
Do you follow anybody like on social media?
John Mayer.
I think I did. I don't think I do anymore.
Oh.
Huh?
I would literally have to look. Please hold.
OMG.
I don't have any current.
I don't know.
Like I follow a lot of, but it was like Anne Rice I followed.
Hmm.
You know, she passed away, so I think her son or the media group runs the page now.
Mm-hmm.
But I followed her on Facebook.
I think it's just people that I actually know. I'm not seeing anyone here who is famous.
Now wait.
Thus far. Hold
Okay.
on. I'm looking. I'm looking on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I follow Yulansi, who made that light.
So she might not follow them in that manner, but she is. You give this bitch some current events trivia. This bitch is all over.
Yes.
Well,
So
because I
she-
do read Apple News and it covers everything. It goes from entertainment to politics, and so it kind of runs the gamut. So as I'm going through that, yes, I will see if something. But sometimes I don't even know who these people. They're beefing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, but you still know.
But
Like
the-
you,
but,
I
yeah.
feel like you know more than I do, and I do. I think it's interesting to hear about things. I don't over obsess, but I think it's interesting.
My brain works the way of the things that stay in it. If it's pop culture,
Mhm.
it stays in it forever. If it's math, doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like someone asked, it was a trivia show, and it was like, name the fish that Arnold had on Different Strokes. Any of you name his fish?
No?
No.
I didn't even know he had a fucking fish.
Abraham. No.
Why do you have that?
Why is that? First of all, why would I remember that? I mean, I watched it. I'm assuming just like millions of other people do. But why did that get stuck into
Yeah,
my head? It's
yeah.
it's songs that I don't even like that I've heard. I know what those words are, so that stuff just stays in my head.
So you don't really, even when you were younger.
I mean, I liked people, but when I was 13, Michael Jackson was the
Mhm.
Taylor Swift of today, right?
Mhm.
Everything was Michael Jackson. So I liked Michael Jackson, and we went to Michigan to visit my aunt, and my other aunt came with me with my cousin. And on the news, it was Michael Jackson is coming to the Pontiac Silverdome, which I think has been taken down at this point. And my grandmother goes, "You guys want to go?" And I'm, "Yeah, sure." So she paid for us to go, and it was the victory tour. So it was the Jackson 5 and so for my aunt, it was of her youth and now. I'd never been to a concert with my aunt. So we're there and the people come out and they're singing and she is screaming and crying. And I'm looking at my cousin like, what the fuck is wrong with your mother? And he's like, what is wrong with my mother? But like, "Ah, Michael," and crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I can understand if they're playing a certain song, which brings back something to you and it may make you emotional.
Yes.
But screaming and crying at a person doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
They are just a person.
Yes.
It's true. But I think in that moment, and maybe not a concert, but like say if you were, I think it's just, maybe I could equate it to an overwhelming like surge of emotion because you're finally in front of this person that you listen to their music,
Yeah.
whatever that does for you. That now that they're in front of you, that's like, I don't think you can control it. And maybe it exhibits itself that way.
Well, okay. Maybe if it's the first time you saw him.
Okay.
Okay. And then the 5th time, if you're still crying, I don't know how you can get that attached to a person
You've never met.
that you've never met. And I understand, I get it. I like music and I understand how that works. And you mentioned John Mayer. I
Mhm.
like John Mayer's music. John Mayer, now I've never met John Mayer, but I've seen interviews and read things, and he comes across kind of away, which is not a way that whatever. Could be totally different in person.
Wait. He's
But
kind of
I-
away? Kind of
She
away? Like
doesn't wanna-
away from the house?
No, he comes across in a certain manner or a
He's
certain
a little,
way.
and I'm not
Away.
saying that he's a bad
I
person. I
see.
don't know
There's
him
a way
at all.
about him.
But
Right, got
there's
you.
just a vibe about him that comes across a little douchey.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people who also in real life, and I know that they're not douchey people, but just
They
sometimes the
might
way
come
they
across
present
that way.
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how he has presented himself to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I still listen to his music and I still would go 100% go see him in a concert. But I can disconnect that. So that's how I see it. I'm not in love with John Mayer.
Right.
I like what he does.
Yes.
But people sometimes have a hard time. That's all encompassed. You
Yes.
made this song. You were the greatest. I love you the most.
Mm-hmm.
They don't separate the person
Yep.
from what they are doing.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It's a little strange. I just think it's a little strange. And the fact that they just relentlessly
Hound them.
hound them. And to me, it's stalking. It's a mass stalking is what it
Yes.
is. And I don't understand that.
Do you follow besides Anne Rice? Anybody?
I don't follow. It's less and less as the older I get.
Yeah.
I also don't have that loyalty you have to,
Yeah.
to follow certain actors. I don't. I'm more about the experience. Like music is music. That's different. There's
Yeah.
the bands you listen to, whatever. But like certain actors, no, occasionally I'll be like, oh, what's so-and-so?
Yeah.
Or something pops up across a feed and I'll
Mhm.
I'll dig a little or I'll go down the rabbit hole for like, God knows how long, depending on, but then when, I reemerge and I'm fine,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I move on. It's not, but then I also I didn't have posters in my room when I was younger.
I
That
did, but
was
they
in
were all
my-
of bands.
yeah.
Never as specific actor.
Oh, my walls were covered.
I
Were
can
they?
only imagine.
I were covered. I had
Ralph
Kirk Cameron,
Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, Johnny Depp,
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah. Stereotypical little child.
Yeah. They were all. Kirk Cameron was my most favorite. That bubble burst when he became an adult and
Well, we'll just say that bubble burst.
yeah, that
Yeah.
bubble burst. What else? There was somebody that I was really disappointed that ended up being a complete jerk.
Really?
You remember? I don't remember.
No.
It was since you and I've been.
How did you know they were a jerk?
Somebody videotaped them being
The douche.
a douche to somebody, and I just don't remember what it is.
I wonder what the context of that was, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
That's
Because
true.
I can only imagine what that's like to just constantly, you're going to dinner and you know that there's at least 15 people who are filming you.
Mhm.
At some
Especially
point.
now. Yeah.
Yes. And it used to be just paparazzi, right?
Right.
That would have been bad enough. But now you have people, just regular people. You're in a restaurant and always eyes are on you. At some point, even if you're the nicest person, at some point you are going to be an asshole to somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's inevitable.
Because we're always looking at them through the lens of the work that they're doing, you forget that they're not their work.
Right. Exactly.
And so then you're shocked when they do something and you're like, but they're just people.
Right.
Mhm.
They're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
They have their own biases, their own beliefs, whether you agree with them or not. Usually they're pretty good about keeping all that,
Mhm.
Some are, some aren't.
Some are,
Some
yes.
are very.
Yes,
Like Stephen
but-
King is.
Yes.
He's very vocal on his thoughts as
Oh, I do follow him too. See, I follow authors.
You say you
Mm.
follow
More than
authors, yeah.
yeah, I follow authors
I
because
don't
I
know why
read
I don't
a lot.
I guess I don't know why I don't.
Well, even the ones that I follow, when I say follow, it's not necessarily on social media because I don't follow a lot of famous people on social media. But meaning I might follow their career if they're
Yeah.
doing different things, if they put out a new album or do a new whatever movie, like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I will likely go see almost every movie that bitch does. I just think he's hilarious, and it just I just like him.
I don't think there's
But I don't-
anybody that I would want that I care enough to see their day to day. Like sometimes I'll see something and people will talk about it and then I'll go look and I'll say, oh, okay, they did that. I can see it when I want to. I don't want it just to show up in my feed all the time. There's nobody that I want to see that much of.
For me, I think it's more about them being funny. Like if you're funny, I mean, that just gets me. Just like Ryan Reynolds. First of all, he's freaking hot.
Okay.
And he's hilarious.
Yes, that's true.
And when he's hilarious in his personal life. So I will likely go see every film that he does. But when I see that he does silly things on social media, that makes me want to see other silly things that he does.
But none of that comes across my feed frequently.
Yeah.
So it's just tidbits here and there. I don't think I see it any more than anybody else. I looked up vacuum cleaners the other day. So now that is all that is on my fucking feed. Vacuum cleaners because mine broke. Now that's all I see.
I thought you said that cubed fingers. I was like,
Vacuum.
That's an odd account. I might have to check that out.
There's also the sense of entitlement, right?
Yes.
That comes from, there was one, like I was reading like Amy Schumer's one, Emma, is it Watson? Is it Emma from
There is an
Hermione?
Emma Watson.
Hermione? Yes. And there was another one. None of them do photos with fans anymore because of incidents that have happened.
Right.
And one of them in particular was like a father came up with this kid and she was, I think she told him no or said, if you could wait a minute. He's like, no, we pay for you.
Oh,
you
yes.
need to take this picture with me.
I did. I think that was Amy Schumer.
Yes. So she won't do it anymore. She will not. She will sign in certain locations, but she will not do selfies with you anymore because she's just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And people don't back down when you're like, I'm with my family. Can you give us a moment? No.
Right.
They're like, no. We're entitled to you. And I'm like, well, and a lot of, from what I was reading this week, is that sense of entitlement that fans get. I bought a ticket. I purchased your album. I went to the movies and saw your movie. Ergo, I am entitled now to a piece of you.
People often make that comment about police. I don't have any control of that. I understand that part of my money goes toward funding the police. A movie or an album, I can control that. I am choosing to buy that. They did not make me. So therefore, you don't owe me anything. I mean, I'm sure that you can show appreciation for people who are making your lifestyle happen.
Right.
But nothing is owed to me.
Right.
Because I like what you do.
You see those things on TV where celebrities get out of cars and there's just people surrounding them, or you'll see Britney Spears, I think, where she was in a car and people were just like peering in the window.
It's not just her. It's
I know, but I'm just saying I remember a picture of it.
Yes, and that poor girl, I think she has some sort of mental problem. And obviously it wasn't handled well from the beginning. And on top of that, she had people 24/7 stalking her. Same thing with Lindsay Lohan. Yes. I don't think they had the best family bringing and not a stable mother and father. And this poor girl is 16 and people are hounding her. And she's like, I'm growing up. I'm trying to be it. She's figuring out what it is, except she's doing it under the eye of millions of people. And then they want to talk. I felt bad for both of them because people are idiots. And they think, oh, well, because you're famous, you should have your shit together.
Plus, in light of all the recent shit that's been going on with, who knows what trauma they suffered
100%
as child
poor
actors.
Amanda Bynes. Who knows what happened?
Knows, right? So and then on top of that, you got that they're trying to cope with.
Yeah.
And then, all this other stuff. It's crazy. I'm not surprised some end up, I think, where they end up.
And how they can't figure out a way to make some sort of law about that because that is harassment.
100%.
I mean, people were famous for a very long time. That shit did not happen. There were cameras back in the 1950s and the 40s, and people were not hounded that way. There was a respect
the same,
for people, and at least somewhat in the famous reality.
Yeah.
Not everyone was hounded the way they are now. Yes,
not everyone.
No.
You still had issues, though.
100%. You still had people, like the Beatles, I had fans, they had whatever.
Yeah, because, John Lennon.
Right.
He was shot by a fan.
It just seems it's way more intense. Like the paparazzi was way more intense. Whatever TMZ came along, I don't think they did anybody any favors with that. And I think that is a form of harassment because they're not just taking your picture. They're yelling at you. They're trying to make you angry.
Mhm.
Well, why did you do that? What about your husband? He's cheating on you. I mean, they're trying to get a reaction from you. Yeah.
Because I think that took it to a separate level, right? Prior to that, you were paparazzi was I
At
think,
an event, usually.
and they were primarily selling two mags, like
Yes.
the Inquirer, the whatever, the Daily, the whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where their money came from. Then I think TMZ, this would
Took it to a
require
whole
more
nother
research,
level,
and
yeah.
you guys can correct us if we're wrong. That took it to and then I think also TV, entertainment then discovered, we can also make money with more shows like this, and then it just escalated, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, even like the Royals. So let's talk,
Oh, I can't even
that's a
imagine
whole
that.
other thing
Yeah.
too. But again,
Mhm.
they're kind of celebrities. I mean,
Kinda?
They are 100%
well, I
celebrities.
mean, they're not. They have celebrity status, but that's not their function, right?
That's no, it's not their function, but with the recent events of all that happened, I think we've gotten a glimpse more because the Harry, everybody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Yes.
It was kind of more open because all of that was always
Yes. Behind the
you
closed.
didn't talk about that. So
Mhm.
all this stuff is going on, and he's like, basically, you have to give these magazines something, or they will relentlessly come after you. So we, as the royals, have made some sort of pact. Okay, hey, we're going to give you these things. We're going to do these things. But because even the people who are running your country are kind of under the thumb. If you don't do what we want, we're going to make your life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like all this stuff with Kate recently. I mean, there was
Yes.
channel after speculation after speculation. It's like,
It's not really her in the video. It's AI. And
it's
like,
just like, I mean, hours and hours of just people
yeah,
breaking
yes.
it down. And I'm like, what is this fascination? There's videos about Britney. There's this woman, at least two I've found on TikTok that have just come across my feed, and they break down all her moves. And this conversation happened, and she was in here, but it looks, I mean, to just create a whole channel, and then all the people are like, yes, I agree, just the
Yes.
comments. So there's all these followers and comments. So it's not just this person sitting in there.
No, it's all.
I don't want to call it delusion. I don't want to be, but
Yeah.
her fascination with Britney,
Her
just
reality
Britney.
of what
Her
is going
reality,
on
yes.
with Britney Spears. Yeah.
Yeah, but she has all these people who are on the same page, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
the time, the effort, I just leave the poor woman alone.
I know.
I mean, you're not
obviously
helping.
she's going through something. Just leave her alone.
And then the other thing that gets me too is like this. Some of them is like they come from a place of concern. Well, we need to help. Something's happening. It's like you're
the
not
fuck are you
helping
gonna
her.
do?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're not helping her. You're just
No.
bringing more attention and more people, and it's
Yeah.
like, how does this help?
But then there's also the flip side where these people that supposedly care, but then there's people that hate
Oh,
celebrities
yes.
and they don't even fucking know them.
like legitimately hate them. Like,
Yes.
Like, so
I think we all have one.
we all have one. For me, it's Liza Minnelli.
I don't think I do. I don't
again, Liza
care.
Minnelli, I'm sure she's lovely. She's an old woman now. I know nothing about her, but she's very theatrical. That is just not my type of person. In
How's it go?
I was like, darling. That's how I see Liza Minnelli. It's like she's eating a salad and she's on theater. Oh, the salad is delicious. Oh, I love the delicious. Oh, the salad. Oh. To me, that's how she comes across. And that is an off-putting personality to me across the board. If someone's in real life like that, I'm not going to hang out with you. Again,
You're not going to what?
I'm not going to want to hang out
hang out
with
with
you.
you.
I'm
Throw my
sure
hat at you.
Liza is lovely.
She's channeling Liza over there. I don't want to hang out with you.
I'm sure she's a lovely woman, and she too went through some things. I'm sure. But so when I see it, it's like, oh God, I can't watch that. But I don't hate her.
Yeah,
You
right,
say the
right.
word, oh, I hate her.
Oh, I
But
know, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
actually
You're right,
have hate
you're right,
feelings
yeah.
for her. I just would not like to watch her in anything. I don't care enough about some person I don't know who even I may really dislike. And there are some not necessarily famous people, right? In different various, not just, music or whatever, who I dislike and I think are bad people. But I'm not going to go on their social media.
Right.
I'm not going to go on any social media.
That's
I'm
true.
not going to comment anywhere on the internet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, let's just say if they are really a bad person and you dislike them, then you're just giving them more attention.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not letting them just go away
Right.
because you just keep bringing them every time you go on there and post.
And
But
I'm sure
even
that's
then,
what-
why do people get that angry about someone they don't even fucking know? Like,
Unless they're
we
a
have
politician who has
Right.
a way
Politicians
to
are
affect
different.
your life. It's
Right.
just some random person who happens to be famous for singing and you don't like them. Okay, I'm never probably going to meet them or talk to them or have any kind of relationship with them. So what do I care?
Mhm. Just like when people sometimes they'll say, you know, take Taylor Swift for example. So people just they beat that girl down. They say all these horrible things about her for no reason. And then there's people that just love her and will like lay on the ground and let you walk on them for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
they defend her to unnatural. They take that to unnatural lengths, right? So if somebody even was to say something remotely negative, and it's not just Taylor Swift fans.
There are very dedicated fans across the board.
Lady Gaga has her monsters, right?
Yeah.
You have the Swifties. They all have names now, which I think is kind of funny. But they're hordes of fans, and it's almost like they forget. First of all, most celebrities don't need you to defend them. They have publicity teams. They have lawyers. They can handle their own problems. They do not need you to come to their defense. They do not need you to dox some poor teenager on TikTok because you said something that he had an opinion about this celebrity and you don't agree with it. I don't understand how you just get so high on to defend this, but you don't even know them. Let's assume you had these morals to begin with. You've set them aside so that you could go after a teenager over his opinion.
Right.
That I don't understand.
I wonder if it also has to do with the fact that people are behind
absolutely
screens. Because, you know, you mentioned earlier that it's gotten worse. And I think it's because people are behind screens.
Because, I mean,
you get to hide behind a keyboard.
You're not going to get punched in the face because you're right. But if you were to go and stand in front of someone and say those things, there's a good chance you would get punched in the face.
Yeah. I saw something, I want to say it was Julia Roberts was playing a game with her niece or something. And it was posted on social media and people just beat that woman down because she didn't have any makeup on. She was just chilling at home with her family. And I don't even think she posted it. I think her niece was the one who was posted. She was just happy to whatever.
Yeah.
And they just let into this woman for no reason. I don't understand what gives people the right to just go after celebrities just because they're celebrities.
And it's not even celebrities. I think people with the anonymity of the internet, people are just nasty.
Very brave.
Very brave.
They're nasty.
They're
not brave. It's just nastiness.
But some of it is very nasty.
Mean, nasty.
Yeah.
That is what tends to come out of some people. And it's like, I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't get the nastiness at all. At all. But I also, on the flip side, I don't get the dedication and devotion that some people have.
Yeah.
I feel like you're exerting that much energy and that much love on someone you don't even know, that if that were my child, it would be alarming to me. Yeah. I would be very concerned and say, we need to figure this out because I don't get the fascination with something that you have no interaction with.
I think up to a certain age, I think, you know, it's a kid and they don't.
Right.
But I think as you grow older and you can realize, oh, they're just a person. I'm just a person. Though I think that I don't know what age that would be, where there's you kind of have a realization that maybe I'm a little too into this person that doesn't even know that I exist. I understand traveling around a band because you like the experience of listening to that band play. If you can afford it and you have the time,
if
and
you
want
can
to
afford
travel
it
around and you know, like the Grateful Dead and Fish, there's a whole community of people. So they go to these concerts in groups and they meet people there and they have friends there. So it's like you're having a party all the time.
Yeah.
The cons do that for the non-band people, right?
Who?
The cons.
Yes.
And those are great.
Right. And you can go meet the person if you want to meet him.
The panels and all that.
Explain what a con is. You mean like Comic-Con?
Like Comic-Con.
Yes.
There's all kinds.
But there's more than that. There's MegaCon, the one we used to I used
but
to
when
go
you
to
said
in
the
Orlando.
cons, I was like, are you trying to point out the bad things? Like
no,
the cons?
like the people who get out of prison.
Yeah.
And you just, that's the cons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's still attached to, well, I guess maybe a show. But
Well, that's for the whole entertainment, but less music, right? That's for everything else. That's shows, that's movies. That's the rest of the entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're focused on just one person, like, I don't know. I just think that's a little
I mean, there's living vicariously, and then you're taking that
to a whole nother level.
100 steps further than you probably need to, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's part of it. There's part of some voyeurism that comes into you're glimpsing, how these other people live in their lives. And it has to fulfill something,
I guess,
for that person to be that involved. Or there's I would think, a lack of maybe something in your life.
Yeah.
And then you're filling it with that instead of looking for fulfillment in a different way.
I think when it happens and you're younger, so you're kind of living that out because you can't just go somewhere.
And you have no control over your life at that point too, right? Because
But once
all
you
your
become an
parents.
adult and you have a job and you have a family, if you're still super obsessed about a person, then there might be an issue there, in my opinion.
I wonder what celebrities think when they, do they want to be famous for their
Some do.
craft? Do they want to be famous just to be famous?
I think it's
Do they want to be famous so they would be recognized everywhere they go? I wonder some
I think
of the
it's all
thought.
of that. I think it's all that. Some of them even fall into it accidentally.
Yeah.
It's not even their intent.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden they're celebrities.
Especially now. Yeah. Like the Cash Me Outside girl. That was like a video that went
That's true.
crazy. And now she's the Cash Me Outside girl. I would not recognize her if I saw her on the
No, me
street.
neither.
But I know the name and
Yeah.
I know that exists. From watching interviews and reading things, there are people who are like, I was just in a band. Some of them say, if I could have just made a living being in a band, that would have been great. It just so happened that my band made it.
Mm-hmm.
They like some of the perks, but then you have to weigh that with the other side of that. And some of them absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
They said, I hate the fame part of it. I wish I could just do it. I could do what I do without being famous. And then you have the people who go out with the intent of, I want to be famous.
Yeah.
You want to be successful in your whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an actor, if you're
Yeah.
But some people stay in theater and they're perfectly content. And those people, while famous, it's only in certain circles. So they don't leave.
There are certain people you would know from theater, like Audra something. She's like the she's like the Barbara Streisand of theater. I can't remember her name, but if you would say it, I would know it. I don't know that I would recognize her, but I've heard that name often with theater. So if you're a theater person, I'm assuming she's a very famous person.
Yeah.
But to the general as a whole, she's not like a Britney Spears or Taylor Swift or whoever. Yeah.
And I also think that women get, as I mentioned, they get
bitchy.
No,
they get picked apart. They get held to a different
Yes.
standard.
Well, and often by other women.
Other women.
That too.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
Which is
We can't we can't uplift each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
Yeah.
That's what caught my attention about Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie. She's not my style. I mean, she seems perfectly fine. From what I hear, she does a lot of charity work. She works with kids with cancer. She does, and she's not an overtly sexual person to put off whatever. She has a political view, but she's not throwing it in your face. I don't understand why people say, I hate her. Why do you hate her? She's just going out and singing. She just so happens to be, I think I'd said it before, it's pretty much her world at this point, and we are all just in it. She is that person for right now.
For right now, yes.
Yeah, I mean, someone else will come.
Well, I mean, you would see, I think Target, I have the Target app, and that's where we get our groceries and blah, blah, blah. Well, they targeted her to get people to come in to purchase things, or they did certain things based on her album. People are making money and doing all that stuff. But my point is that people just like you said, they just pick her apart for no reason. So I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So we have Jason Kelsey, which he's the Eagle, but then his brother Travis is dating
Taylor Swift.
Yep. And just because she may act like a regular old chick girlfriend to a dude, she is ripped apart on social media.
And they go out. and she's drinking. Oh, I'm concerned about Taylor Swift drinking. First of all, were you there? Were you counting the poor girl's drinks? She's like 30-something. She's been famous since she was 16. Fucking leave her alone. Let her go have a drink.
Right?
She has a documentary, Miss Americana, something like that. She has an apartment in New York. And they're videoing her coming out of her apartment. Now, she doesn't acknowledge the paparazzi. These were people. They weren't paparazzi. Probably 20, 30 deep. There's like a section of the sidewalk that was blocked off. She comes out. They are screaming, these people. They're screaming. She walks directly. She gets in the car. And she sits in the car. And she's like, well, that's my front yard. She goes, and please understand that it's now lost on me that is not normal. She can't even leave her house. And these people are saying, but we love her. But do you think that she appreciates that? Do you think she wants to come out of her house for people screaming at her? She doesn't. So if you love her, leave her the fuck alone. Let her go home. Same thing with Justin Bieber. He even said, he goes, this is my house. He goes, I live here. They were asking for a hug. He goes, no, I'm not going to give you a hug because you came to my house.
Yeah, there was some Canadian actor. He was 14. He was followed home by a couple in their 30s. They followed him home, and then when he got to his door, he's already vulnerable, right? Now he's at his front door, and you're like, there, can we get an autograph? He said, no. You creepily followed me home. Yeah. No.
Right. Yeah.
At some point, they probably could have approached him, but they actually followed this 14-year-old boy home to get his whatever. Sandra Bullock had somebody hide in the closet of her house.
There was somebody else. They came home, and there was someone sleeping in their bed. There's just a person in their bed.
Tell me what goes through your brain. Do you think it is just a free-for-all just because they're famous?
100%. A lot of people
have
think
an entitlement.
They think you've chosen this lifestyle.
So we're entitled.
So you asked for this.
That is ridiculous. I don't get that. Well, what was that? Where did we see that gentleman at a Starbucks?
In New York. He was the guy.
He was on that show with Courtney Cox.
He was in something else not that long ago. And I was like, oh, there's that guy we saw in the Starbucks.
And so then I finally figured it out, and I'm looking him up, but I'm sure he probably thought I was stalking him. Yeah. But I kept looking over because I'm like, I know him. Like I couldn't place him. But then once I placed him, I was very proud of myself for placing him. But then I just felt like even if, let's say he was my most favorite person.
Yeah.
I feel that there should be a boundary and that you shouldn't just go up to people.
So you don't have any autographs from anybody?
Only that were planned. So like with the Jagged Little Pill, the musical, I stood in the back and I did what you're supposed to do. I don't go around, not that I've ever encountered very many famous people as I'm just walking through the store, but I don't think that I feel that that's their personal life. You know what I mean? I don't know if I would have the balls to go up to them and say something.
I think if they're eating dinner or if they're sitting with a group of people, that you shouldn't go interrupt them. I think if you would happen to see him walking down the street and you say, hey, nice to meet you. Would you mind taking a picture? Yes, no. Okay, great. I would say probably most of them are okay with that, as long as they're not with their kids or something like that.
But then do you think that celebrities feel like they can't really be genuine with somebody? That is this person 100%. Talking to me because I'm famous, or are they talking to me because they like my personality?
Other thing too, which is sometimes why I'm not surprised at all when you hear, like, for a good example is Gwyneth Paltrow. Mm-hmm. When you are surrounded by yes people, I'm going to say that, because they make their living off of you. And so I think most celebrities live in this bubble. So when they come out with these outrageous ideas or this or that, I am not surprised at all. They're in such a bubble. They're so entrenched, I think, in their life that when they come out with these outrageous stuff, I am not surprised. Or when you find out something
like
that
you didn't expect, that smells like a vagina.
Or that you need to put it up, whatever the crazy stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it was a candle that smelled like a vagina.
Oh my.
First of all.
And plus she's all about
whose vagina?
Sticking stuff in your vagina. I don't know.
It's not like there's just a generic, as far as I know. I mean, I'm not a vagina connoisseur. But I'm imagining.
But aren't you?
But I'm not. I would imagine that there's a variety.
She's only known her vagina and my vagina.
And I here. So, but I would imagine that it's different. So there is not in like a rose. Okay, I'm going to pick that out. I don't know that I'm going to pick up. Oh, that's a vagina.
Like I said, I'm not surprised when it happens at that level because they're hearing what people tell them. And oftentimes I think people just agree.
So what would you do if Asher became super enthralled in a celebrity as an adult and like would go to their house? And I'm going to ask you the same question about Darcy. Would you even say something? Would you say, hey, you need to...
Okay, so he is how old?
25.
25. So he's a grown-ass man.
Grown-ass man.
I would say you're a grown-ass man and you're following some person around. That's not, there's something going on that you might want to go to a therapist and talk about why you feel the need to attach yourself to a person who you do not know and you have such strong feelings for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't stop him because he's 25. If he's just living on his own and spending his own money and being a weirdo, then that's on him. But yeah, I would definitely say, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? What's going on?
What about you?
Yeah, I would hope that along the way you teach, we've taught them that, hey, this is normal, but they're celebrities. You don't know them, and you try to teach them some perspective so that when they get to 25, they're not chasing after, and then maybe you do have a little bit of an intervention when they're 25. They're doing that, right? I mean, come on. Yeah, because there's your kids. It's not appropriate. Yeah. I don't need you on the news because you're stalking.
That's right. All right. So then to close out this whole thing, what if,
What is?
let's just say shits and giggles.
I hate that fucking saying.
Shits and giggles.
I don't think that you like me. You purposefully just do shit that is so fucking...
First of all, I didn't know you had such an affliction
I've
against
mentioned it
shits.
before, but
yes,
you
have
don't
mentioned
listen.
it. No, motherfucker.
I said I hate that.
I have listened
Motherfucker.
and I've heard it,
Yeah.
but I didn't
And I
think...
don't care.
No, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. So what? You don't like the saying. So the fuck what? I don't like the P word.
And I don't say it, do I? Oh, snap. 2 today.
All right.
Yeah.
So just for funsies.
Oh, even better.
Oh, all right.
All right.
So just for fun,
Okay.
what if our fan base grows?
Okay.
So how would you approach those types of situations? Let's say we're out at a restaurant and
We're going to
somebody-
get mobbed from our podcast.
Not mobbed, but let's just say some random
Someone comes up
person
to you.
comes up and says, "Oh my gosh, I listened to your podcast, or I watched you on YouTube, or TikTok, or Facebook. Go to all of the socials.
Instagram.
Yes.
Do that. I think that the first couple times it happens, we're going to be, holy shit.
Yeah.
People know who the fuck we are and they
Yeah.
want to talk to us.
Yeah.
I think if we were at dinner and someone came up, we would totally take a picture, sign an autograph, do a little jig with them. I think it for the, and I think that most people, when they first become famous, they're more than willing to do all those things with you
Yeah,
because
it's probably
it's
exciting.
exciting and it's new and, oh my God, these people know me. I think it's after you've been doing it a while and it's consistently and you're harassed and mobbed and you can't walk out your front door.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, I have to make clear boundaries for my own mental health as much as I can.
I think podcasting can be such a niche thing that only certain people know you.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
Yeah, but
this
keep in
global
mind that
phenomenon.
we're not just podcasting. We're also on all the
YouTube.
things.
Yes,
so I
yes.
think it's the YouTube. So
Yes.
I don't think let me rephrase. Let's say we get fans based on YouTube so
Yeah.
they know what we look like. How would you?
I guess it depends on your approach and who's approaching you. I'm not. Yeah, I think it would be a positive thing. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would think, yeah, hey, great. I mean, first couple times it'd probably be a little awkward.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You want to talk to me?
Why?
Me? Are you sure? Are you sure I'm talking to that guy? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about you?
Well, I don't know. I think it would be exciting at first, and then after that, we could dream that we could get so many followers that people would see us out and all that kind of stuff. So if somebody finds you and says, "Oh, you're fantastic," and then you get blow up or whatever, but
You get blow up.
you get blow up.
Oh,
You know what
shit,
I
I'm
mean?
about to get blow up.
You know what I mean, motherfucker.
Yeah, of course I do.
So all in all, remember these are people too, just like the rest of us.
Mhm.
All right, lemon drops. Here we are at the end of another episode. We appreciate you. Like, comment, share with your friends.
Thanks for listening.
Call Tara all the candy names
Yeah. Go ahead.
you can. Peace out, bitches.
Adios.
Bye. Bucky drops.